What's up, my beautiful people? It's StellieTrades, and today I'm going to be talking about Fundedseat. So I heard about this prop firm a few months ago, and to be completely honest, I was a bit skeptical when I came across it, mainly because the pitch just sounded almost too clean. It had a one-step evaluation with instant pass, 5 hours guaranteed payout, no subscriptions, so no monthly fees that goes away. You just pay one time, end of day trailing drawdown, 90% profit split, daily payouts, and no activation fee. And it's supported on Quantower. So I was like, this sounds a little too good to be true. So I wanted to give them some time to come into space, see if they were going to run off like fast track, and just see what was going on with them within the first few months. So that's definitely a strong set of rules on paper that I just mentioned. But here's the thing about prop firms: the pitch is always strong on paper. What matters is whether the firm actually pays, whether the rules work the way they say they do, and whether there are things buried somewhere in the fine print that changes the whole picture at the end of the day when you're looking for your payout. Right? So in this video, I'm going to go ahead and break down exactly how Fundedseat works, the evaluation structure, the funded account rules, the payout mechanics, and my honest assessment of where this firm stands in 2026, mid-2026, including the things that, I think they have some areas of opportunity, I like to call it, to change. So I'm going to discuss those. They don't have a lot, actually. I think they're really one of the best firms right now in this space, especially not having a subscription fee, allowing traders to trade at their own pace, fast or slow, however they want to trade. I think that is definitely one of my key plus signs for them, if you will. So let's hop right into it. So Fundedseat is based out of LA. It's a futures-only prop firm. They market themselves as the next generation firm, which gives fast paths to funding, fewer structural barriers, and of course your traditional multi-stage firms. So, and I can see why they're saying all of that, because for one, they allow you to adjust your challenge that you take. So I'll go over it in a second, but they allow you to adjust your consistency, and of course they make it a little bit pricier if you raise your consistency. But I find that's very cool. That's very next gen, if you will. And you can start earning money from day one as long as you prove, of course, your trading skills. And also, they bring you live. Now, I will say this is a con against them. I don't like the fact that they bring you live after 4 payouts. I think you should be able to get to about minimum 5 to 8 payouts before you go live. I would love getting to 10 payouts before you go live. I just think that's a realistic goal to say, okay, this person is absolutely ready to go live. They're at the 10 payout. Or give you the option to not go live and just say, hey, you know what? We're going to cap your payouts if you don't go live. I think a lot of other platforms need to do that. I think that would be, chef's kiss for these prop firms, and will gain them a lot more business. So prop firms, if you're listening out there, have it where payouts are capped if they don't go live. I think going live just puts a lot of pressure on you, and sometimes it can definitely affect your trading. All right, so 90% profit split. I went over that. Listen, a lot of prop firms don't do that. We do have some of them that do, but I had to find for a new prop firm on the scene to have 90% profit split on all accounts and daily profit withdrawal. That's amazing. Of course, the daily profit withdrawal, it does say once eligibility is met, and they have a lot of different accounts, so you have to go ahead and look at the fine print and see what your account eligibility would be. Now, I love the fact that their challenges start from 70, just call it $70 right now with the discounts that they have. So run, get your accounts. Of course, use the code STELLIE if you want to get the best discount, but they have discounts. I believe it's 50% off. Was 70% off, now it's 50% off all accounts right now. So the cheapest account right now is $70, one-time fee, not monthly, which is incredible. What sets them apart, they're saying, is you get paid day one, withdraw profits from day one once funded, no payout denials. That is chef's kiss right there. Trade with a peace of mind, knowing your profits are yours. News trading being allowed. I did not think I was going to see this, but they do allow news trading. I personally don't trade news. However, I may trade earnings here and there. I've been successful, and I've also definitely blown some accounts on trading earnings after hours. So, to each his own. 5-hour guaranteed payouts, light and fast and automated payouts. Listen, I believe this is incredible. I'm going to go ahead and go through the process, and I'm going to time it. I promise you, I will go ahead and time it. So let's go into the evaluations. They say they have the best trading plan in the industry. Let's go ahead and go into these evaluations now. So it runs a one-step evaluation, okay? Right now, like I said, everything is 50% off. One-step evaluation, one phase. You hit your profit target while staying within, of course, the rules. Then you pass. There's no second verification phase, and most platforms kind of got away with that anyway. You don't have to wait a day or anything like that. You go immediately to being funded, and you're able to earn your 90%. So pretty much just 90 cents on every dollar. So I'm going to focus on the 50K account as I go through this walkthrough, but honestly speaking, they have so many different accounts. For one, this is your eval phase in the one step. So you have 25K accounts all the way up to 150K accounts. I'm going to come back to that. But the instant funding right here, it goes from 25K to 100. Now, you can have an instant funding, you can have direct, or you can have the Bolt account. With the Bolt account, the main thing is that your consistency changes, right? So with the Bolt account, your consistency has to be 20%. You have your daily loss limit, soft breach of 1,500, and a day drawdown 2,000. Of course, your max contract is 4 on here, as you can see. Now, your biggest trade on your direct account can only be 15% available profit. So now your daily loss limit is still 15 and a day drawdown 2,000. So this is about $300. And then when you look at the boat is about same thing, $300. So I like the fact that it gives traders an opportunity to pick and choose. It's a little, some people might say it's like little nuances, but it gives you an opportunity to pick and choose what you want, what works best for you. So this is incredible. And these are actually 60% off on your first purchase with them. So run, go get it. Once again, go ahead and use Stellie as your code, or you can use first 60 for 60% off. You'll get the best code no matter what you put in at checkout. So that's your instant funding, guys. Now let's go back to the evaluation phase. When you look at your evaluation phase, you have daily option. Pay attention to the numbers. They're going to switch up a bit. So that's about $100 consistency. You can go ahead and change that. This is what I was talking about. It gave you an opportunity to change your consistency. So when you change your consistency to 50, that 100 goes to about 135. Okay. So you have daily. You also have the flex. So let's see. So that's about 135. Now with the flex, you can go from 40% consistency to 50% consistency. And that's only 105. So to me, at this point, I'm going with the flex. And you have the daily pro. Now you have the consistency at 40. They don't really allow you to change that one. That's about 120. Profit target and end-of-day drawdown is pretty much this, let's say not the same, but very close on all of them. You also have the sprint, and the sprint profit target 3,000. End-of-day drawdown now is $2,000, and it's only 110. So you really got to look at these various plans and see which one works best for you. So if you know you're trying to pass this account within 2 days, right? You don't want your daily loss limit to be at 1,200. So this might not be the best one for you. But if you want to pass in 1 day, this actually might be the best account for you because you're able to pass it in 1 day. Now with your daily pro, you can go ahead and get this, and the day drawdown is still 1,500, but you don't have a daily loss limit. So you have no soft breach in this account. So if you want to go ahead and try to say, hey, I want to make my 1,500 per day, you might not want to use this account. You might want to slow down. Even if you don't have daily loss limit, your end-of-day drawdown is 1,500. Now, the flex and the daily is really where consistency, you can kind of pick and choose which one you want. They also pay attention to the reset price. It's like 80 to 90 bucks for a reset. I think reset should be about 70. It should be a little cheaper than the actual price of the account. But I do believe it's a fair price in terms of reset. But the evaluation fee currently is heavily discounted, as I mentioned. So go ahead and get that discount. So anywhere from $70 to $110 for an eval account between 25 to 50K. Or if you want to go higher, of course, you can go ahead and get the ones for 100, 170 bucks. Like, I think that's incredible to just have that one time where you have some prop firms, they'll have $100 activation fee or 120 activation fee. And that's on top of what you pay for the actual account. So I think this is very, very good that they're doing this. And it's expected for them to have some sort of discounted fee, especially with them being new in the space. Maximum drawdown approximately about $2,000 on, like I said, on their accounts. The floor only adjusts based on your closing balance. So it's not intraday, anything like that. I like the fact that it's end of day. It locks permanently once your profits exceed the drawdown amount by 100. So I love the fact that there's no activation fee on these trading accounts. You're passed, you're funded, there's no additional payment. That's amazing. When it comes to consistency rules, some plans, as I just showed you guys, it goes anywhere from 40% to 50%. So you have to go ahead and verify whichever plan you're getting and whether you like 50% consistency to 40% consistency. All it's saying is that your trades can't be more than 40 or 50% of your total profits for the day. All right, so passing the evaluation is the beginning, not the end, right? I'll be back to share the funded account process at Fundedseat, specifically what the first payout will look like for me and how many days it took, and just if they're living up to the hype, and how exactly the request process went for me, how it worked, how fast the money hit my bank account, things like that. But I did want to go over some of the rules in the document that they sent me. So here you have the end of day trailing drawdown limit. So for the 150K account, it's 4,000 when it comes to funding the actual funded account. When it comes to contracts, Of course, I went over this already, but here you can see it plain as day. So I just like the fact that they sent this and nothing was really, really hard to read. Everything you could see right there. I did want to mention, when it comes to swing trading, they just said all positions should be closed before 4:59 p.m. However, it says this will not result in a fail or loss of account. I like the fact that they did that. Some prop firms, if you don't close your accounts, they just pretty much fail you, which I just don't think is fair. Sometimes you may forget, you have a limit order and you had an emergency, what have you, which I've had that happen to me, and I lost my account because of that, right? So, and especially when these the connections are messing up and you have where you get a bad connection one day and they just start placing random trades. Man, if you were a trader and you were around when I'm not gonna call prop firm names, but you just had whether it was rhythmic connection, a Tradovate connection, it was random trades being placed and things were just going haywire, especially like days on CPI and like big news. Shout out to you for still being here because those were the days, man. As mentioned, they do allow news trading, which now when it comes to this, I wanted to mention this because I didn't see this anywhere on this site. But for the funded accounts, these are your daily loss limits. So for the 50K, you do have a DLO of $1,000. The inactivity rule. So I've noticed that a lot of prop firms are starting to do this. So the inactivity rule on your evaluations is 20 days. You have to place at least one trade for 20 days. Even if you don't have a monthly fee, your account will be deactivated after 20 days after your last trade. Now, the maximum account idle time funded is one trade per week, and that's Monday through Friday. So this is per account. This is not per user. So if you got 4 funded, 5 funded, how many funded accounts you have to place at least one trade on each Monday through Friday. So the payout guidelines. Now, you can request your payout daily from day one. You get your 90-10 split. You can have a total of 5 funded accounts at any given time, and only 3 of them can be 150K accounts. Once you submit your payout request, it can't be edited or canceled. Once you fail your account, even if it's in a process and they hadn't approved your payout yet, it's gone. For me, I've had to learn the hard way. So trust me when I say this. Do not trade your account after you've requested a payout. I won't say the name, but there's a particular prop firm. They're really, really known for holding your payout in that request queue, hoping that you blow it. Well, hoping that you blow your account so they can deny your payout. So just do yourselves a favor and do not trade your account as you're waiting on your payout. So here's the allocation of the accounts that you can have. Once again, it can be 5. 3 of them can be 150K accounts. You can have all your evaluations, things like that. And here's the payout, because I didn't see this on their site, but here's the payout amount per account. So your account size, let's say 50K, your minimum payout would be 500, the maximum payout would be 1,000. 100K, maximum 15, minimum 1,000. 150, 1,500, your maximum would be 2,500. So this right here is a criteria that you would need to qualify for each payout. So I'm happy that they send this in the email, but I would really have loved to see this on the site. I'll just keep it 100. I would really have loved to see all of this on the site. So just know, yes, you do have to go ahead and get your buffer. Of course, you cannot withdraw your buffer. So you do have to make the additional amount on top of your buffer. So your buffer would be 2,100 on the 50K account. So for the 50K account, you would essentially have to make $2,600 in order to request a payout, because your minimum payout will be 500. And then for your buffer, you have to make 2,100. So you would have to make 2,600. And if you would like to withdraw the maximum, which is $1,000, you would then have to go ahead and make 3,100 in order to get that payout of $1,000. For your second payout, you would have to hit at least a minimum profit requirement between every payout request. So you would need to go ahead and make an additional $500 on top of your buffer. So it's essentially you're making the same amount each time. I don't see a problem with that. The way I look at it, guys, I would treat this as if I'm running a campaign and do a cluster. And what I mean by that, if I'm allowed to have 350K accounts, I'm going to go ahead and get 3 of those, and I'm not going to request a payout until I have 3 that's ready for payout. If I'm going to go ahead and have 50K accounts, I'm going to have my maximum 5, and I'm not going to go ahead and request one payout until I have all of them ready for payout. And that's how you'll go ahead and maximize the amount of money you're able to get in these payouts with this prop firm. So if you want to scale, you can go ahead and start scaling. This only applies to funded accounts, but you can go ahead and start scaling once you hit various milestones. So for the 50K account, once you hit a milestone of being $2,000 in profit, then you're able to scale from 2 minis to 4 minis, and so on and so forth. For the 25K and the 50K, it looks like you can only scale up once. So for your payout window, it has to be, you can do it daily, but it has to be after what they call reconciliation. So that's between 5 and 6 p.m. I guess it's an hour break for them to calibrate their system or reconciliate their system. So once your payout is requested, once again, you cannot go ahead and adjust it, but your funds are immediately withdrawn from your account. You can continue to trade while they review. However, I highly suggest you don't do that. And there is a path to live. Trader may be moved after taking 4 payouts on a single account. And that's why I mentioned earlier, if you want to go ahead and have these as campaigns and requesting your payouts in a group, that will be way better option. But to just go ahead and say you have, and I get it, if you didn't have a cap on the payout amounts, I would say okay, but there's a cap on the payout amounts. This is not uncapped payouts, and which I feel like that's another con. I think they should be uncapped payouts, but I do understand it's a new prop firming space. So once they're a little bit more seasoned, hopefully they'll have uncapped payouts. All right, and I'm not gonna go through this because I already went through the eval phases. I'll scroll through it, but this is pretty straightforward. The evaluation is pretty straightforward. I just find that they didn't have a lot of the funded information on their site, so I wanted to dig in a little deeper to that. With the inactivity rule, it's pretty much the same thing. 20 days. With the funded, it's once per week you have to go ahead and trade your account. All right, so here are the trading rules, your prohibited trading strategies. So they seem to be very lenient on a lot of things, but when it comes to strategies, they have a tight hold on that. So just follow the guidelines, don't trade these strategies. They don't allow micro scalping, but it says while the strategy is not outright banned, it cannot form the core of your trading approach. Or 50% of your total profit must come from trades held longer than 10 seconds. I think a lot of these prohibited items are things that it's already prohibited in the space, and it seems as if they have some gray area here if a trader is not abusing these things. So yeah, I would highly suggest that if you do get an account with them, you go ahead and you take a look at that document that they'll send you. This is my document here. I did want to point this out when it comes to the path to live. So on your live account, it's a 90% profit split, daily withdrawals, end of day drawdown, no daily loss limits, no payout caps. You can have a total of 5 live accounts. There is a performance reward. For the first time live traders, you will be able to earn a one-time reward based on your performance in the live account. So on a 50K account, trading day profit threshold would be 150, and your performance reward would be $2,000. Of course, you would have to reach 5 trading days with the profit threshold of 150 in order to gain this $2,000. What I did like about this, any remaining profits in a live account will be eligible for reward in the event you hit your drawdown threshold. So I do like the fact that they're not keeping your profits, they're actually giving you your profits that you rightfully earned. And you have an opportunity to return and go through another evaluation and purchase evaluation after a cooldown period. Of course, they have a risk team like every other prop firm, and if you're super reckless, you're not allowed to trade with them again. Yeah, guys, it just goes over the same thing I just went over. So hopefully you enjoyed this this walkthrough of Fundedseat. I'm super excited to be trading with them. I haven't been excited about a prop firm in a minute. Hopefully I am able to trade with them and not only get to pay out, but document my payout. Sometimes I find myself not documenting too much. So they do say that they have the best trading plans in the industry, and honestly, it seems as if they do have some of the best trading plans in the industry at this moment. So here's my take on this review and the stuff that most Fundedseat content does not say clearly enough. First of all, the firm is pretty young. As of today, they have approximately about 74, 75 Trustpilot reviews. If you compare that to TPT or Lucid, yeah, I just have to see how the firm behaves under pressure. As of right now, I mean, I love what I'm seeing. I love the fact that they sent their rules or regulations to my email, and it's very clear for me to read. I actually wanted to read it after I received it. I don't know, it looks pretty good. When profitable traders start requesting large or frequent withdrawals, when rules when you have gray area with rules and disputes come up and when something goes wrong, I would love to see how they handle that. So pricing transparency, I would definitely have to say that's good. Right now, you have a lot of discounts. I would love to see how they handle profitable accounts, people that come in and they're able to gain a lot of traction and just get to pay out. I want to see if they're going to pay these people out. So far, it looks like they have been paying people out. I haven't heard any rumors. So I'm really excited to trade with them. It's a good start. So Fundedseat works with Rhythmic compatible platforms including Quantower, StellieTrades, Bookmap, along with their own Volumetrica, Tradestia, A-Test. If you're a Quantower trader, it definitely connects with Quantower. So what I would say, I did see some things where it says DX feed. There's been some data gaps, but I mean, that's really and truly like not even, I would say, a Fundedseat issue. But they do not support NinjaTrader or Tradovate. So hopefully that'll be incoming for them. I trade with Quantower via Rhythmic, so I absolutely love the fact that they have Quantower. I've tried to go back to Tradovate because I like this particular platform, but I just couldn't do it. To me, having Rhythmic via Quantower it's perfect for me, and I just don't want to mess up my setup. All right, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Here's who Fundedseat makes sense for right now. Traders who already have a funded account with an established firm, who want to add some more accounts at a low cost to test out a new firm. And honestly, it's also good for new traders. Why? Because you're paying one fee, you can take your time, and you have the ability to trade, whether it be 10 to 20 days, a month, if you are a busy person or you travel for work like me, you have the ability to take your time and grow these accounts. You don't have to try to force trade an account. Especially with discounted pricing, the risk to test is really, really low. Okay. So if the payouts happen to work as smoothly as it's working right now and you're able to scale, it's definitely worth a chance. To pass one choice with 50,000 of your own money. No, we don't do that over here. Versus just for $70, you're able to go ahead and get funded. So I say why not? $70 for a 25K account. If you add a little bit more cheese to that, hey, you can go ahead and get a 50K account, a little bit more leverage for about $90. They have more testimonials here. I would definitely advise you all to go on their site, take a look at what other people have to say about them, and their Trustpilot reviews. They also have some FAQs here, which I found was very helpful. So I did click through these. I would say go on the site and just click through the FAQs. Go ahead and see, what other people may ask them about that they've went ahead and put in the FAQs. And if you still have more questions, you can go ahead and click the button to chat with someone. They do have support 24/7. So here you have it. They have their funded seat versus other firms. Other firms do this. It's like a quick little jab at their competitors. But I mean, if you have advantages, why not talk about it, right? So they say they have 1 day to pass versus other prop firms. I mean, Earn to Trade has like 10 days. It's so ridiculous. Withdraw profits from day one when it's funded. Get paid daily up to $650K in funding. Of course, you can scale up, get to up $1 million. No hidden rules, no payout denials. Now we'll see about that. We'll definitely see about that funded seat. News trading allowed, which I think is incredible. Even if I don't particularly trade heavy news, and you get to keep 90% of your profits. I mean, I think it's a platform that anyone can use for seasoned traders as well as new and income traders. My affiliate link for funded seat is in the description. Make sure you use code STELLIE. Verify the current pricing and all the rules directly on their site before purchasing. This is a new prop firm, so go ahead, verify everything I covered. All right, guys, thank you for going over this review with me, and make sure you like, subscribe, share this. I will be tracking my funded seat journey, also the payouts over the next few months. If you've already used funded seat and you have a payout experience to share, drop it in the comments. That community data is genuinely useful. So thank you all for tuning in, and peace, love, and happy trading.